The room fell silent the moment I was told to step aside. Hundreds of glittering chandeliers bathed the grand ballroom in warm golden light, cameras flashed from every direction, and the city's most influential people turned toward the entrance. My name was printed on the elegant place card beside my husband's seat at the charity gala, but before I could sit down, he calmly picked up the card, folded it in half, and handed the chair to another woman wearing a dazzling emerald gown. She smiled as though she had won a prize. He never even looked at me. In that humiliating moment, I realized the deepest betrayals don't happen behind closed doors. Sometimes they happen under crystal chandeliers while everyone pretends not to notice. If stories about courage, kindness, and finding hope after heartbreak speak to you, we invite you to stay with us for this journey, and feel free to share your thoughts as you watch. My name is Vivian Harper, and for nearly 12 years I believed I had built the perfect life. My husband, Adrian Cross, was respected across the business community. Together we attended charity events, fundraising dinners, and award ceremonies that filled magazine pages. People admired us as the elegant couple who always smiled for photographs, but photographs never captured lonely breakfasts, empty conversations, or the quiet evenings where two people lived under the same roof as complete strangers. Years before our marriage, I had sacrificed my own career in architectural design to help Adrian build his company. While he became the face of success, I quietly managed charity foundations, organized community projects, and introduced him to people who later became valuable investors. I never asked for recognition because I believed love meant growing together. Somewhere along the way, together disappeared. His meetings became secretive. His compliments disappeared. His phone was always turned face down. Whenever I asked whether something was wrong, he smiled politely and told me I worried too much. I convinced myself every marriage passed through difficult seasons. I ignored the strange perfume lingering on his jackets and the unfamiliar lipstick stains that vanished before morning. Friends noticed before I did. One afternoon my longtime friend Margot gently asked whether everything at home was all right. I laughed and changed the subject because admitting the truth would have meant admitting that my carefully built life was cracking apart. The invitation to the city's Grand Heritage Charity Gala arrived 2 months later. It was the most prestigious event of the year, raising millions for children's hospitals and educational programs. Adrian insisted we attend because important investors would be there. I spent weeks helping organize auction items, contacting donors, and ensuring everything would be perfect. Even though my name appeared nowhere on the committee list, I poured my heart into every detail because helping people had always mattered more to me than receiving applause. On the afternoon of the gala, sunlight poured through the windows as I carefully dressed in a midnight blue gown that had belonged to my late mother. She had always told me that true elegance came from kindness rather than expensive jewelry. Looking into the mirror, I whispered those words to myself like a quiet prayer. The ballroom looked breathtaking in the daylight that streamed through towering glass walls before evening settled outside. White roses lined every table, musicians rehearsed softly, and volunteers hurried between guests with warm smiles. Everything felt hopeful. Until Adrian arrived. He walked in beside Serena Vale, a glamorous social media celebrity whose name had recently begun appearing beside his in gossip columns. She laughed at every sentence he spoke while resting her hand confidently on his arm. People stared but said nothing. Then came the moment that changed my life forever. Without hesitation, Adrian removed my name card from our reserved table and invited Serena to sit beside him instead. His expression carried no guilt, no embarrassment, only quiet certainty that I would simply disappear. I stood frozen. The humiliation burned hotter than anger. Some guests looked away. Others whispered behind raised glasses. Not one person stepped forward. I found an empty seat near the back of the ballroom where no cameras would notice my tears. I reminded myself to breathe. I reminded myself not to cry. I reminded myself that dignity sometimes means surviving moments no one should ever have to endure. That was when someone unexpected stopped beside my table. Elias Thornton. For years, the newspapers had described him as Adrian's fiercest business rival. Their companies competed for contracts, investors, and headlines. They rarely occupied the same room without creating tension. We had exchanged only polite greetings over the years. Nothing more. He looked at the lonely chair beside me, then toward the glittering table where Adrian proudly entertained Serena. His eyes reflected disappointment, not curiosity. Without asking questions or making a dramatic scene, Elias quietly offered his hand. Every conversation around us seemed to pause. Every camera slowly turned. The orchestra began playing a graceful waltz. I stared at his outstretched hand, wondering whether accepting it would create another scandal. But something inside me finally whispered that my life could no longer be controlled by fear of gossip. I placed my hand in his. The ballroom watched as we stepped onto the polished dance floor. There was no performance. No revenge. Only respect. Elias danced with calm confidence, making sure I felt seen rather than displayed. For the first time in years, someone looked at me as though my presence mattered. People stopped whispering about Serena. Instead, they watched the woman everyone had overlooked stand taller with every graceful step across the floor. When the music ended, applause echoed through the ballroom. Not because we had danced perfectly. Because everyone had witnessed something far more powerful than elegant choreography. They had watched dignity rise after humiliation. The following morning, photographs from the gala spread across newspapers and social media. Surprisingly, very few headlines focused on Adrian or Serena. Most featured the image of Elias respectfully leading me across the dance floor beneath sparkling chandeliers. Public opinion changed overnight. People who had remained silent during the gala suddenly reached out with messages of encouragement. Several women shared their own painful experiences of betrayal, reminding me that heartbreak often hides behind beautiful smiles. Instead of returning home, I visited one of the children's hospitals supported by the Charity Foundation. Watching young patients smile despite unimaginable hardships placed my own suffering into perspective. Their courage reminded me that pain could either imprison a heart or transform it into compassion. That afternoon, I made the most difficult decision of my life. I filed for divorce. Not because another man had offered me a dance. But because I finally realized I deserved respect even if I had to stand alone. The months that followed were challenging. Lawyers negotiated endlessly, old friends chose sides, and rumors continued to circulate. Yet every sunrise brought a little more peace than the day before. I returned to architecture and began designing affordable community centers where children could learn, families could gather, and hope could quietly grow. The work filled the empty spaces inside me. 1 year later, another charity gala was held in the very same ballroom. This time my name appeared on the program as the lead designer whose community projects had transformed neighborhoods across the city. No one could take my seat. Because I had finally earned a place that depended on character instead of someone else's approval. As the evening ended, Elias congratulated me with genuine admiration, expecting nothing in return. Whether our paths would someday become something greater hardly mattered. The greatest love story of my life had become the one where I learned to value myself again. If this story touched your heart, we'd love to hear what part stayed with you the most. Your thoughts may encourage someone else who needs hope today. Before we close, please share one word in the comments that represents the kind of future you hope to build after life's hardest moments. As I walked beneath the bright afternoon sky after the event, I understood something my mother had known all along. People may steal your seat. They may steal your comfort. They may even try to steal your confidence. But no one can take your dignity unless you hand it away yourself. And sometimes the most beautiful dance is not the one that begins with music. It is the one that begins the moment you choose yourself.